Hey guys, today I'll be giving an overview of the newest chapter, Chapter 29, Alien. It comes with one new killer and one new survivor. So in total, that's 6 new perks. I'll be explaining their functions and utilities, and what they're good for, and if they're worth running in your builds. So let's begin. The new killer is a Xenomorph. It comes with 3 personal perks: Rapid Brutality, Alien Instinct, and Ultimate Weapon. It's also important to note that difficulty rating is moderate, which means it's great for the average player. Now let's get into the power. The Xenomorph's power is called Hidden Pursuit. This power has multiple special abilities attached to it, but first let's go over the basic one. The most basic ability is Tunnels. It allows the Xenomorph to go to any control station, which are all highlighted in white due to his Hidden Pursuit ability, and it allows him to travel through these tunnels, and while he's in the tunnels, any survivor near him within 16 meters will be indicated with reddish footsteps on the ceiling of a tunnel. Also, whilst in a tunnel, the cooldown timer for your run mode accelerates, giving you the power back quicker. Exiting the tunnel from the control station will momentarily deactivate any deployed remote flame turrets and tag any survivors within 12 meters from that control station with Killer Instinct, so you're able to track them. Next, I'll explain the most important ability he has, which is Runner Mode. Runner Mode automatically activates when it's not on cooldown, and whilst in Runner Mode, the Xenomorph walks on all 4 legs and becomes stealthier, reducing its radius to 24 meters. Whilst in Runner Mode, it also gains a new attack called Tail Attack. Tail Attack can only be used whilst in Runner Mode and has a range of 4.8 meters, making it sort of like a Nemesis tentacle, being able to hit over pallets and windows. The Xenomorph also has a special prop which it and survivors can access. At the start of the game, 7 control stations are spawned in the environment. The Xenomorph can select any control station and highlight it in red to mark it, turning its aura yellow. Then when inside the tunnel, you'll be able to see the shortest path through the system to the selected control station. But when survivors interact with the control station, they receive a remote flame turret. But the control station has a cooldown of 30 seconds before another turret can be retrieved from the same station. Of course, given that there's turrets left for the survivors to actually pick up. Turrets are a special item that shoot fire towards the Xenomorph, which kicks him out of his Runner Mode ability, which means that the Xenomorph has to wait through the cooldown of his Runner Mode to be able to use it again. But the turrets are destroyable by either a basic attack or by the Tail Attack ability that the Xenomorph has. Now let's move on to the perks. Rapid Brutality is probably the best of the Xenomorph's perks. It makes sure that you can no longer gain Bloodlust, but after hitting a survivor with a basic attack, it grants you a 5% haste status effect for the next 10 seconds at max. This allows the killer that is using it to chase back up to the survivor even with their speed boost they get after being hit. So it makes it very strong and very important for killers that have low map mobility, as they are able to catch up straight up to the survivor after hitting them, which can allow for some quick downs, which will help snowball the killer some pressure. Now, there's one really big downside to this, is that you no longer gain Bloodlust. Now, this is a downside because it can turn some loops into an infinite, as Bloodlust is a mechanic to stop infinites as it gains you speed over time when chasing survivors. You no longer having that means some loops you're just going to have to keep running around, and they can loop you for a lot longer considering that you no longer have Bloodlust. This perk is great on M1 killers such as the Clown. The reason I mention the Clown specifically is because he has pink bottles, which essentially makes up for him not having Bloodlust, as you're able to slow the survivors down to catch back up to them. And the speed boost, along with the pink bottles, means the second down will be a lot easier, and I think it's going to be a main staple on the Clown. I can also see this perk getting some use with the Wraith to be able to catch back up without having to cloak again, which means he doesn't have to waste time going to the cloak animation, getting out, and then getting another hit. The killers this perk will not be so effective on are killers like Nurse and Blight, which only get hits through their special attacks, which means it will not trigger Rapid Brutality. Now let's go to the second perk. Alien Instinct activates after hooking a survivor. The aura of a furthest injured survivor away from you is revealed for 5 seconds. The survivor is also inflicted with Oblivious, which means they will no longer be able to hear your terror radius for the next 20 seconds. This perk is like a mini barbecue and chili that only works on one person. I would say it's quite useful on killers such as Nurse and Blight, as they are able to travel the map quite quickly to be able to get this injured survivor. Also, the obliviousness means they won't know that you're coming. Unlike the previous perk, this perk will not be good on any killers with low map mobility, as the revealed survivor might be too far away for you to catch up to. Me personally, I would prefer barbecue and chili over this, but I think it's still quite a solid option. Now to his final perk. Ultimate Weapon activates for 30 seconds after opening a locker. Survivors entering your terror radius scream and reveal their location to you. Those survivors suffer from blindness for 30 seconds. Obviously, this perk has great synergy with Iron Maiden and Darkness Revealed, which allows for great aura reading and also quick locker searches. If you're playing a killer like Hunter or Trickster that needs to reload at a locker, it also allows you to recharge your power essentially, making it really good in locker based builds. The main attraction of this perk is the survivor tracking capability. The blindness isn't that great due to there not being much reason to blind the survivor, but the blindness does counteract the most used perk currently, which is Windows of Opportunity, with a 33% usage rate. Now we'll move on to the survivor. The new survivor is Ellen Ripley, and she comes with 3 personal perks: Chemical Trap, Light-Footed, and Lucky Star. The first perk is Chemical Trap, which, while standing next to a pallet, you can trap a pallet, and for the next 120 seconds, the aura of the trapped pallet is revealed to you, and when the killer breaks the pallet, they get slowed down for 50% for 4 seconds. But this only works after you complete 50% of a generator, so it is really good in tandem with perks like Flashbang, which also requires you to do 50% of a generator. So you're actually getting 2 perks, or 2 abilities, for a price of, one half of a generator. Her next perk is Light-Footed. Light-Footed only activates when you are healthy, and suppresses the sound of your footsteps while running, but Light-Footed has a cooldown of 20 seconds after performing a rushed action. If you want my honest opinion, this perk isn't that great. There's a couple of factors why. The first of which is only suppresses your footsteps while running, which means that they can still see your scratch marks while running and they can follow those instead. I guess you could also use Lightweight to throw the killer off your scratch marks, but that's just another really bad perk that you don't really want to waste a perk slot for. It would also be good if this also worked while injured and didn't also have a cooldown, because the power isn't that broken, but I could see this being used in a bunch of meme builds. Her final perk is Lucky Star, which activates after entering a locker. Lucky Star suppresses your grunts of pain and removes pools of blood for 10 seconds after exiting that locker. You also benefit from being able to see the auras of other teammates and the aura of a closest gen revealed in yellow, but has a cooldown of 30 seconds. I personally think this is her best perk as it has a lot of utility no matter how good you are at the game. If you're new to the game, you'd want to use this perk as it finds the closest generator to you. You could use a perk like Deja Vu, but I think this is better as it has more capabilities, as you're also able to find teammates with it and also get healed by them, which is so great if you're a new player. It also has great synergy with Dance With Me and Quick and Quiet, making you really hard to detect. All in all, this is her best perk as it gives you great map knowledge, also is very easy to use, and you get to choose when you activate it as you get to enter a locker to activate it. Also, the suppression of your blood and grunts of pain is also really good against certain killers like Spirit, as they are unable to track you. I hope you enjoyed this short overview and are as excited for this chapter as I am. If you guys enjoyed the video, please give it a like as it encourages me to make more, and also if you're feeling generous, give me a sub as it really helps me get to my 1000 subscriber goal. Anyway, have a good night.